Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Now in today's video, we're going to be checking out two of the new AmpKnob plugins from Bogren Digital. I guess you could say it's about to get uber heavy in here. So before we get started with today's video guys, just for full disclosure, Bogren have asked me to check out these two new AmpKnobs, so I guess you can say this is a sponsored video, but all thoughts and opinions are 100% my own and I will not be sugarcoating anything, that's for sure. So with the formalities out the way, let's have a little bit of a chat about what these two new AmpKnobs are and what they've got to offer. So we have got two new, I suppose, German titans here, some uber heavy tones from a VH4 which is based off of a diesel VH4 and a BDE 120 which is based off of an Engel Savage 120. But with today's video we're going to be checking out the two new uber ones. So what we're going to do first guys, we are going to be hearing it in a full mix. I'm going to use my Jackson Surfcaster HT7 for that. I'll be chopping and changing between the two AmpKnobs there so you can see on screen which one I'm going through at each time. And then we're just going to have a bit of a deep dive into the AmpKnobs and see what they've got to offer. And I'm going to be using my Jackson Pro Series Rhodes for that with Seymour Duncan pickups. So let's hear how it sounds in a full mix, shall we? Right then guys, so let's have a look at the VH4 first. So I've just loaded this up now, straight out the box. This is how it sounds. Really explosive, got that nice low end raspiness that a VH4 has. So we'll just have a little look at the general interface of the plugin here. So it's kind of similar to the features you would get on some of the other AmpKnobs. So we've got our tuner there, we've got the cab options here, so we can load between a modern cab, a vintage cab, and load our own impulse responses in if we want. For the demo track that you would have just heard, I was running everything on the modern cab apart from the sort of, I suppose, the lead chorusy section where I was switching between obviously the Engel and the diesel, but I had the vintage cab engaged on both of them just so you can hear in a mix how they sound. And then we come across the settings and we've obviously got a noise gate here. I'm just running this factory, so threshold pretty neutral. Nothing too aggressive going on either in terms of the gating. So on the diesel here, we've got an overdrive pedal function here. This is just going to add a little bit more saturation and tighten up that low end, which I do think is particularly useful on the diesel. And then we've got two types of gain channel like you would have on a VH4 here. So we've got what I would kind of consider as, you know, channel 3 is your rhythm, and then channel 4 is the lead. So let's just hear channel 3, the rhythm, with the gain at about 11 o'clock. let's engage the pedal and see how we get on. Yeah, I like that. For me, where the VH4 really shines is chucking it onto, you know, the ultra high gain one. So I'll sit the gain where it was at 11 o'clock, no pedal engaged, and let's see how this sounds. Really, for me, like, it just dives into Wes Borland territory with the VH4. You could do the Adam Jones thing with it as well. I'd probably engage the pedal and bring the gain back a little bit for that. I'm in standard tuning, so God knows where that would be. But it will do that Adam Jones thing as well. Let's just hear how the vintage cab sounds there as well. I'll switch between the two. It's definitely a warmer sound. It sounds more like almost like a Marshall cab, that 57 in front of it there. Probably a bit more of a Wes tone. I do prefer it with the modern cab there. I think it just gives it a little bit more cut through. If you're doing something a bit more articulation there at least. So let's move on to the angle and hear how that sounds. Probably starts to get like any amp would react a bit flubby there, so let's chuck the pedal on. It's really tight. Quite like that. It's very clear as well. You get that nice bloom from the sort of the top strings there. Let's chuck the vintage cab on. Quite nice for a bit more of like an 80s thing going on there. Sounds great with the leads. I'd probably maybe whack a bit of delay on or something, but let's get to the fun part. Let's take that pedal off, set the gain at 12 again. Everyone loves the real high gain channel. Really tightens it up there, sort of gain about 1 o'clock there, so 6 out of 10. Pedal on, it's just so explosive. That's the one, like even when I was doing the video, that was the one where I plugged in straight away, and I think I loaded up the angle first. And we're still on the vintage cab actually. Let's knock that modern cab. Yeah, that's the one where it just sounds so great. Very like, gives me like, it's probably a little high gain, but Judas Priest vibes. They've also introduced, sort of off the back of the success of, I suppose, like the Trivium Trio and your sort of classic Legends of High Gain ones, if you can buy 3 of the AmpKnobs and you can select whatever ones they are, you can mix and match now on the website, and you can get them at a discounted price, which I think is a really cool feature, because you might want a couple of different flavors. You might want to go classic, you know, dual rec, and then you might want something British, whether it be the JVM or the JCM 800 one, and then maybe you want one of the German ones, so whether it be the VH4 or BDE. So you, like I say, you can mix and match now and create your own bundles online, which is really cool. So there we have it, guys. What did you think? I've got to say, seeing as this is my first time using any of the AmpKnobs stuff from Bogren, I was pleasantly surprised. I'm a bit of a, I suppose the right word to use this is a tweaker. I'm sure the comment section will have fun with that. When it comes to dialing in tones, so you know, whether it's mic placement, mic choice, EQ on the amp, type of overdrive, EQ on the overdrive pedal. And I think a lot of the time, as I'm sure a lot of you in the guitar community know, we spend most of our time tweaking stuff rather than actually sitting down and recording and writing stuff. So as soon as I loaded these up, I was like, yeah, these actually do sound great just straight off the bat, and it was really effortlessly just easy to write the demo track for this, and I had a lot of fun doing it. Particularly, I mean, both of the AmpKnobs sound great, but the one that grabbed my attention was the BDE, the Engel one, straight away. As soon as I was playing through that, I was like, this is absolutely spot on. There's nothing I would change about this. And I think the price, you know, reflects the simplicity of the plugin, but means you can just, you know, cut the crap out and just get straight to recording and writing and have a great tone straight away, which is what a lot of people want. So let me know in the comment section what you guys thought of it. Is there anything else you'd want to see sort of in terms of amp-wise from Bogren Digital? Hopefully they'll be keeping an eye on comments on this, and I suppose seeing the launch, and hopefully taking the suggestions on board. But make sure you like and subscribe, guys. I've had a blast doing this. It really does help the channel grow. So I will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.